When I left Accenture, I went through some transition stages, and you know, hopefully this will help you as we talk about transitioning. The Great Resignation, is it all about transitions? And so the first thing that happened for me was I was on a project that didn't go well. And so I said, I just don't have it in me to do this anymore. I literally said that to somebody else. And that was a trigger. I was starting to resign from this moment. And so I started to imagine, well, if I leave, what will that look like? And I didn't want to leave on a low note. So I started imagining, oh, I want to leave on a high note. I want to leave on a project that was successful. So you start imagining, so you're moving away or moving to something in this stage of transition. So I started thinking about that. And then the next thing that happened was I started laying the groundwork for it in the background. So I started taking classes on what it meant to be an entrepreneur. I joined Brendan Burchard's, went to an expert academy, became a certified high performance coach. So these were all in the background. I was laying the groundwork for the next piece of, you know, the next chapter. But it was triggered. There was decisions made about like putting this together, but I still hadn't said anything at work about leaving. And then finally, there's a day where you go into the office and you say, I resign. So that's when you do it. You make it real. And so, you know, there's a time frame there. You know, I'm going to resign. They're like, well, give us a couple of months. And so I put in my notice, and the notice went on for 2 more months than I really thought it would, and which is great because they wanted me to stay. So, but then you have to do it. And these are the stages. I literally had a work plan for each of these stages. Well, for these 3 stages, for when I left Accenture. And the final piece, this is magic. Watch this. This is the magic of PowerPoint. Ooh, baby. Engage the next chapter. And that's where you start again. Transitions, we always think about like, oh, I'm here and I'm going to go there. A lot of times transitions are, I'm going to go here, and you start down here again and you start over again. And that can be really hard. But that's what that means to us. So those are the stages of transition. That was me leaving Accenture. And when people are going through the Great Resignation, they're only sitting here. Part of our job in our communities is to help people through all of these. Now, I didn't have a great, you know, view of what the next chapter looked like. I wanted to write some books, but I didn't know exactly what that looked like. But over time, it's been 4 years now, I've really formed what that looks like. I formed it as I went. So but I had laid the groundwork, I made it real, and I had some things set up to go. So that's what the Great Resignation looks like. And I'll leave this part with this very little subtle difference. Let's not resign, let's re-sign. Let's not resign from something, but let's re-sign. We're signing a new contract with that next chapter. So let's make it the great re-signing. So you have to re-sign with yourself, re-sign with your community, re-sign with the world, re-sign with future generations, re-sign with humanity. Let's level up our worlds. That's what Wisdom for Humanity is really all about.